Hey, I'm Ben, this is Batarang to the butt, and here's some fun comic book nonsense for you. Captain America is currently a Hydra agent. Unless you're watching this in the future, because inevitably he will be reverted back to his normal patriotic self at some point. But in the meantime, he's pretty much a Nazi. He's a fully fledged villain right now, but let me explain how we got there. Recently there was a Marvel Comics event called Standoff at Pleasant Hill, in which villains were being brainwashed and kept in a small, heavily monitored community by S.H.I.E.L.D. None of them knew anything about their past lives and believed that they had lived there all of their lives. It's a pretty fascinating concept, but considering it was a comic event, something had to go wrong. We aren't discussing this just to commend S.H.I.E.L.D. I'd recommend checking out those comics, but back to the point at hand. Captain America had lost his super soldier serum at the time, and so his body had aged and he was essentially just a normal old man. He had passed on the mantle to Falcon because the world still needed a Captain America. That's important, remember that. Anyway, in Standoff, it was revealed that a young girl named Kobik, who was actually a manifestation of a shard of the Cosmic Cube, was controlling this whole community. S.H.I.E.L.D. were using her to keep all of these villains brainwashed. Before S.H.I.E.L.D. got their hands on the shards though, the cube was in the hands of the Red Skull. That's also important. I promise I'm going somewhere with this. So it's a pretty precarious and dangerous plan, right? Leaving a bunch of villains to be controlled by a little girl? Obviously, things go wrong, blah blah blah, it gets dealt with, but at the climax of the event, Kobik rejuvenates Steve Rogers, giving him his youth and his super soldier abilities back, and since then, he's not been the same. This is where things get weird. Well, I mean, weirder. It's already pretty weird. So we flash back to earlier when the cube shards develop into a young girl. In this form, she seeks out a familiar face, which in this case happens to be the Red Skull, the cube's previous owner. And what a fun coincidence, he's also the leader of the Nazi terrorist group Hydra. Kobik is incredibly powerful, and so she is able to go back and forth between S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra without anyone noticing. Red Skull, being the evil Nazi prick that he is, takes advantage of this. He tells her to keep their meetings secret, he manipulates her, becomes a real father figure to her. He gives her the idea that good and righteousness is Hydra. She begins to believe all of that and she wants to make the Red Skull proud. During their time together, she ends up rewiring a S.H.I.E.L.D. scientist's mind. Dr. Eric Selvig suddenly believes that he is a Hydra sleeper agent. Kobik reveals her little trick to the Red Skull, and this gives him a plan. He uses Selvig to propose the idea of a reality-altering prison to S.H.I.E.L.D., who thinks that they are in full control of Kobik. Of course, they jump at this idea, and then when the Pleasant Hill initiative kicks off, Red Skull disguises himself as a priest within the community. From there, he observes and waits. And so, when it came to Kobik rejuvenating Captain America, it turns out that she actually did a lot more than that. She rebooted him, completely rewriting his history. So thanks to Kobik, Hydra and the Red Skull, Captain America now believes that he is a Hydra sleeper agent. And now, it is finally time to reveal himself. It's a pretty complex plan, but to be fair, with a little bit of reality altering, a little bit of mind control, and a whole lot of reading bedtime stories to a little girl, the Red Skull pulls it off. It's pretty impressive, and the comics that have Hydra Cap in them have been pretty interesting so far. All of this is seemingly going to climax in the next Marvel event called Secret Empire, and I'm pretty curious to see what will happen next. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and I'll make more content like this. Let me know what your thoughts are on Hydra Cap. Are you patiently waiting for him to return to normal, or do you also think that it's pretty interesting? Either way, subscribe to the channel for more geeky good stuff just like this.